हेलो। हेलो। No, share it in. Please hold it. One second. Yeah, that's better. हाँ इसके नहीं तो बन रहा है अरे ले आओ ले साउंड है ले बनता
Very good afternoon to all of you. Of course. Check. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of VIT's Career Development Center, I take great pleasure in welcoming Mr. Paul Sundar Singh, the Managing Director from Accenture, and Ms. Epsa Karan from the recruitment team of Accenture. Accenture has been a regular campus recruiter from VIT. When they introduced this advanced engineering hiring program, year on year, VIT has been topping the number of students getting recruited into this program. So we would like to thank Accenture for recruiting the maximum number of students from VIT. There are very few institutions which have been accredited for this recruitment process, for this advanced engineering hiring. So I would like to thank them again for choosing VIT and coming over here for doing this brand connect and pre-placement talk. I request Dr. Anand Baisal to introduce the guest, and then the team from Accenture would take over. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. From the Accenture leadership team, Paul Sundar Singh, sir. As a lead of industry practice, he has brought several, services across innovation, engineering and product development, manufacturing and digital operations, and product services optimization to help industry clients master the digital opportunities and the drivers of change unleashed by the industrial Internet of Things. His responsibilities also includes the innovation lead for automotive and industrial equipment clients, and help them digitally reinvent their businesses and create a new level of innovation and efficiency across the extended connected value chain. And as a master technology architect and digital architect, he has been instrumental in creating digital factory solution with essence of Industry X.0 and SAP Leonardo. Sir, thank you so much. It's always an honor to have you with us, sir. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank Epsa Karan from the talent acquisition team. Ma'am, once again, thank you so much for being there for us. Thank you, all of you. Over to you, the team. Sir. Please, sir.
No, very good. I quit. Huh? No. No, இப்படி அது பண்ணீங்கன்னா அப்படி வரும். Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not able to hear a loud noise. Perfect. Sounds good. So, being an afternoon, and I know I'm not going to make you sleep, but nevertheless, I'm just going to walk you through what Accenture is, right? And then we can talk about it. I think the people from the other locations were also able to hear us loud and clear. Yes? Okay, perfect. So just a quick introduction about me. I am Paul, and in short, I'm being called as Paul, but my full name is Paul Sundar Singh. And I lead the automotive practice in Accenture, specifically on the technological space, right? And I'm being with the firm for the last 14 years, right? So I I love to be and I'm proud to be part of the Accenture family, right? And my overall experience counts to be close to about 25 years of experience in the IT industry. So that's what it is me. And today we are just going to walk you through what Accenture is and what are the different opportunities that you can look out and what you can be part of, right? So that's what the day is all about. And probably at the end, you can also talk about, or you can raise your questions and get it clarified. So we have Espa as well as part of our HR. So she would also be covering through what are the different roles and what are the different path into the Accenture as well. So she would also cover through that. Okay, with that said, let me quickly get on. So once again, welcome to the world of Accenture. So let's quickly run through like what next it is. So that's what now you would have gone through the entire video, right? So now I'm just going to throw you quite a few questions back to you guys. What's the size of Accenture employee? Okay. How many cities that we operate? What is that? 9? Okay. How many clients that we support? Perfect. I think you have a good reading. So, and coming back very specifically into Tamil Nadu, right? How many cities that we have offices? So you haven't gone through the websites of Accenture, right? Okay. So we do have 2 offices. One is in Chennai and the other one is in Coimbatore. So that's how so let me quickly get in. So while we saw that, the video was talking about 7,000, but now that, we have striked a number of 750,000 people who are being part of this Accenture today, right? So that's the size that we talk. And obviously, we have clocked 64.1 billion last year. And we are closing now in another couple of weeks that we are going to publish our numbers for FY24 as well, right? So that's how we are. And specifically, when we talk about, Accenture as an organization, everyone will start talking about Accenture does only the technological work, right? Is that true or not? Is that Accenture limit itself to do only technological work? No, right? Okay. So that's why we call that as industries, right? So we basically have the industry flavor on top of everything. So if you look at it, we talked about Accenture consulting, like, industry X songs and whatever, right? So that's how, the entities of Accenture, and every entity has its own industry flavor as well. So we serve close to about 40 plus industries, and that's what we also bring in to you as well. Okay. And then the interesting thing is, like, Accenture spends a lot on training as well. Do you really think that the training is required for every Accenture employee? Yes? Are you sure? I'm done with my 4 years of degree. Why should I be keep doing again and again? Is that right? Okay, but every year, if you look at it in the early days, right, the technology was not changing much. But now there is a technological change every moment that we talk. Now that we are in an agile world and every change is being looked at, right? So we keep constantly helping our associates to kind of improve, right? So example is data and AI. How many of you know data and AI? Just raise your hands. How many of you are aware of data and AI? Okay, I see quite a few. Interesting, right? And what's next in data and AI? What are we talking about today? definitely you guys would have been using generative AI, right? Or chat GPTs, right? So it's keep moving in, right? So obviously the technology is just not stayed in, right? We have to constantly evolve and constantly keep ourselves apprised to the newer technology. So there is about $1.1 billion, which is being spent on employee to kind of, upskill themselves on it, right? And we just not just do only the training for our employees, but we also spend a lot on research, right? I think your college campus provides you a lot of opportunities for you guys to kind of go and create your own research and start publishing papers. Is that right or not? Yes. Okay. So we also spend a lot on that. And while we do that, we also help our associates to kind of gain a lot with the understanding on the technologies as well. So example is like, we are being supported to kind of publish patents, start writing papers into the external forums and whatever, right? So that's what we also do. So I'm happy to say that, by the way, Accenture has helped me out creating 13 patents in the last 14 years. And out of that 13 patents, 8 of them are approved, right? So that kinds of keeps me inspired and do more and more, right? So that's exactly what we also do. So again, you see those business. So can someone talk about what exactly we do in technology, strategy consulting, songs, and other stuff? Have anyone gone through the websites and have an understanding on this? Business groups? No? No one. So we haven't gone through the website yet before you could come into your pre-placement talks. Is that? Okay. So Accenture Technology is in a business group by itself. So we are from the technology group. So we are responsible for any technologies that are being taken to our client, right? So that's what, the technology is responsible for. And second is all about the strategy and consulting, right? So obviously we just don't do only the technology, but we also help our clients in setting up their strategies and setting up their visions and start driving their new visions to it, right? Example is like, since I'm from automotive, I just take examples from auto industry. So have you ever seen a change in a car manufacturing before 2000? No, right? It was very standard, right? You had very few players who are being manufacturing the cars, right? So, and slowly like now, every year there is a change which is happening in, right? So now that we started talking about electric vehicles, but now we are moving away and started talking about new energy vehicles, right? Have you heard about new energy vehicles anywhere? Yes, no. Yes, right? So every day there is a change, and the strategy and consulting is responsible to understand the market trends and start talking about how the trends are moving and what the client should do and how Accenture could help them in setting up their strategies, right? So that's all it is. So Accenture songs, right? What Accenture songs means. Don't think that we make songs for our film industry. That's not the intent of songs. The songs are responsible for creating a customer experience. Can anyone give me an example of a customer experience? Getting more silence. Okay, let me talk about what Zomato is all about. Hope you guys are using Zomato on your daily basis, correct? Yes. If I'm going to offer a Zomato application, which is going to take you 10 clicks to place your order, would you love it or not? Simple. Yes, no. Huh? You will still go with 10 clicks, is it? No, right? You don't. Because the customer is looking out for a quick placement, right? I should not be able to tell him, go click 10 times to place your order, right? So Accenture Songs helps in design those strategies and drives what should be appealing for a customer, right? And today, example is during the COVID days, I think no one was able to go out or kind of go and buy a new car, right? We were being restricted, or if you want to go out, you need to follow through a long process of getting that, right? And while we are on that, the pandemic taught us a new way of working, right? So we started building digital showrooms for our clients. Does that help the customer as well? Yeah. Example is an Accenture worked with the 3-liter German car maker, and we helped them out in bringing a car virtually onto your floor, right? With that, really helps the customer to kind of see through and understand what's a car and understand what's the future of the car. And that has really helped them to decide what car that he needs to go through, right? So these are the kind of works that we help our clients as well. And very recently we launched, the Bajaj, Dealer 360 as well, right? These are changing, and the Accenture songs are really helping us in kind of creating that customer value creations, right? So that's on. And Accenture operations. This is another business entity. So we just not do only technology, the strategy and the consulting work, but we also help our clients in setting up their operations as well, right? So there is a huge set of operational consultants who sits and works for the clients as well, right? And finally, but not the least, Industry X, right? How many of you know Industry 4.0? Know it very well. Okay. What did you learn through Industry 4.0? Just a click. What's that? Okay, you started integrating your IoTs and other stuff, right? And exactly. So that's what, the Industry X focuses. Accenture has a strong focus on having a connected products or connected vehicles, whatever, right? So that's something that, the Industry X gets focused on. So these are 5 different business entities of Accenture. So we are, again, I'm reiterating, I'm from technology. Yeah. So this is what exactly we talked, right? So every group is responsible for their business. And again, have you ever seen a word called One Accenture? Have you ever seen in your videos that One Accenture was being displayed? No, it would have been definitely there, right? So when we go to a client, we doesn't go with all the 5 different entities, but, we just go as One Accenture because we represent all the 5 entities together. That's what we mean by One Accenture. So we never differentiate ourselves like, I am from consulting, I am from technology, I'm from operations, right? So it's all about One Accenture that we take to our clients. So that's what at the scale that we are talking about. Okay. What's this purpose, right? So while we talk about Value 360, how many of you know what Value 360 is all about? Assume that if I'm going to work with the German car maker, the 3-liter German car maker, and if I am just going to give him only, work on the client related works, will the client be happy about doing it? Or the client will look at Accenture back again? No, right? So what we do is we also help them to bring the experience that Accenture can bring for it, and definitely on financials, right? Do you think that Accenture is also responsible while I'm executing a project for a client? Do I need to really take care of the financials of the client? Yes, no. Yes, obviously, I need to know how the client is working on their financials as well. And I need to help them to kind of, create a profitable organization, right? Example is, I'm just going to ask you one question. What's the margin for a car if I sell from a dealer? what's the margin that the dealer gets if he sells a car? What's that? 10%? Okay. Any other guess? What's that? Little more louder. I just need one more answer from you. Just a guess. I think he said 10%. Okay. Okay, but in fact, right, we are talking about a huge margin, but the car makers doesn't make a 10%. They just make 3 to 4%. Right? So if a client is looking at a 3 to 4% margin, do I not help them to kind of create a profitable organization? Right? Today, I'm just bringing my own examples here on the auto, right? Now that we are talking about an IC engine as well as an EV engine, right? Do I have the same line to manufacture these two? It's possible, and we are doing it. That helps the client to kind of optimize their cost on setting up a new plant or driving new things, right? So these are some of the things that we also keep in our mind. So we are just not technology or consulting, company, but we are also helping our clients with the financials. Okay. Third is sustainability. How many of you know what the sustainability is all about? Any clue? What's sustainability? What's that? Yeah. So again, taking an example of my own industry, which is automotive, right? Sustainability is a much more important, and we need to help our clients in driving the sustainability. So we help through a program called, well to tank, right? So all the way from your oil well into your fuel tank is what we talk, right? So how we help our clients in setting up, those sustainability factors as well, and make sure that they are creating a go green earth kind of scenario. And definitely, but not talking about inclusion and diversity, which is very key, and our focus is more towards that as well, right? And very recently, we published that we have achieved a mark of 50-50 in the diversity, right? So, which means that it's a stronger organization, and there is a push from the top leadership in driving this inclusion and diversity as well. So we are pretty much on in. And finally, but not the least, is all about the talent, right? That's why we are here. So when we hire the talent, we make sure that the talent has the right amount of skill and the knowledge before he gets into an project. So that's what this talks about. So any questions so far on in? You're clear? So we have set what we are doing in for, right? Okay. So this is something that I want to leave you with. So we are being honored to be recognized and accomplished the top in Indian markets as well. So if you look at it, we are being recognized as a global business leader for a consecutive of 6 to 7 years, and that's what we are in. And we are also being a great employer for our community, right? And it is also a responsible company that we are talking about. So this is on the business front on it. Yes, it's done. What's the reason for having an applause now? Do you think that I'm done with my presentation? Or is that giving a signal that, okay, I'm done and we want to get away from this place, right? I'm not going to leave you guys till another 15, 20 minutes, right? Okay. Sorry for the disruptions that we had. So, okay. So meanwhile, I can just go around and take a few questions from you guys, right? So whatever that you've seen, right? So we are, we have a 5 different business groups, right? And then we serve close to about 9,000 plus customers. And then how many industries that we serve? 40 industries, you are right. Thank you very much for that. I think you are so keen looking at the presentations as well. Thank you. Right. And any questions from you so far? And before we could get into the next sections. Any questions at the last? Okay, so this is our network. So we are close to about 280,000 people who are seated out in India. And we are in 13 different cities, which are including Tier 2 cities as well, right? And very recently, we started offices in, Bhubaneswar, Indore, and whatever, right? Because we want to make sure that our associates are close to what they are and work from their own locations as well. So it is not a hard and fast rule that you need to be on a location which is of longer distance for you. So you can have your own preferences after 18 months of your continuous, in your Accenture. Okay, so this is all about Accenture. So while we started sometime in 2000 yearly, right? So we were being called as offshore development centers, right? So the people across the globe will bring their technological work into India, and we are responsible for delivering those technological works back to the client, right? So that's how we were being set in the early days. And then slowly, like we started moving into an industrialized phase of delivery, where it is a completely driven out of India. So you just dump the work, and we from India were able to kind of, deliver what the client was looking out for. That was we talked about as an industrialized way of delivery. And then slowly, like, we started moving into an innovation and expertise, right? So innovation is now a DNA of ours, right? So anyone who you talk to, an Accenturized guy, will be an innovator, right? So that's what we started moving. We are just not only the technological developers, so but we also innovate along with the client, or we call it as co-innovation with your client, to kind of add business values to their business, right? So that's how we started. And now, while we speak, we started ourselves into a compressed transformation work, right? Which means that, let me ask you a simple question. Like, how many of you know, or let me ask you in the different way. Do you think a client will have 1 or 2 systems for their business, or there would be multiple? There would be multiple, definitely. Okay. How much that we can guess? Will it be 100, 200, thousands? Guess. It will be definitely multiple systems, but can you guess how many that we can talk? I was working with a client in Europe, right? And this client has close to about 1,600 applications which are being used to serve their business. Do you think that it is good to have 1,600 applications? Yes, no. No, right? So the client is looking at Accenture to kind of help them in optimizing, right, their IT landscape. So we got engaged and we are helping them in optimizing by 40%, right? Do you think that is possible? It's possible, right? In today's world, you can look at your cloud or you can look at any of your hyperscalers who can come and take your applications and start putting it in, which could also help them to kind of optimize, right? So that's exactly what we are talking about. And we are helping our clients in building digital core for their business as well, right? So that's what it is all about. So in the last 22 years, there was a huge change that, we started from a offshore development center where now our consultants were able to perform a complete a transformational work. So that's what the technology that we speak, or that's where the business that I'm coming from. Yeah. Okay. We are just not only Accenture. So we have our ecosystem partners. Anything that you name, we have the ecosystem partner. Example is your SAPs or your Microsoft or whatever, right? So we have everyone being partnered with us. Do you think Accenture can alone do everything for a client? No, right? So we need to have the ecosystem partners who does all that for us, right? So that's a strong partnership, and definitely anyone who is coming in will also have an option or opportunity to get trained on one of these ecosystem partners as well and get yourself certified. Yeah. Okay. Finally, but not least, this is the last topic that I'm going to. That's no audio for it. There is no audio, and 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 there. This. Do you know what's the reasons behind it? Every video has the background music. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, quick. But this doesn't have. Why? Because we want you to be more focused on the content rather than the background music. Thank you very much. So now, this is an interesting topic. So that's the reason we never focused on a background music on us. So every year, Accenture publishes a technological vision for the year. In 2024, so these are the 4 tech visions that we have published. So this has been a consecutive of the 14th year that we keep constantly publishing this, right? And this is all about a match made in AI. So how many of you started working in generative AI? I think definitely you would be using it for your assignments, right? No options, right? You just give a title and it generates a complete paper for you, right? So, and everywhere that we started talking about the generative AI, very recently, we launched a new generative AI driven marketing advertisements for one of our largest auto seller, which is JLR, right? So how many of you know JLR? Jaguar Land Rover, right? JLR is the biggest in that, right? So the customer was looking at like, what are the different ways that I can attract my customers to come and visit their page, right? So then we worked with the client. We understand that, a generative AI could really help them to kind of attract the customer, right? I'm a customer. I just want to know how the car will look like in a snowy space, right? If I'm going to drive to Himalaya, then I need to know how my car is going to look like when I park my car on the snowy space, right? So where we started putting a generative AI, and that generative AI is bringing you back the experience the customer is looking out for, right? If I want to drive through the deserts of Rajasthan, right? How will my car looks like? So again, I can bring in a complete visualization for my consumer to understand how the car will look like, right? So these were some of that, and we started working with our clients in delivering this generative AI, right? So these are some of the tech visions that we kind of keep publishing every year. So that's something that we are in. So again, I'm just taking it back and closing in. So we are so proud of our people. We have our disability and inclusion program. Our focus is also more onto it. And we just not talking about, work-life balance. So we also bring back, mental health and wellness for our employees to make sure they stay top on their health as well and for the business as well, right? So that's what we talk about. Okay, so when we talk about, empowering our people with a healthier way, so there are focused programs which are meant for mental well-being, physical, financials, and social. So anything that you talk, right? So Accenture has a play, and they also come and support our people in all their areas, right? So that's what it is. And now, you want to take it? Okay. So before I could hand it over, so I'm here around. So, and probably after ESPA finishes their presentation, we are open for your questions as well, right? With that said, I'm handing over to ESPA for the next sessions, right?
Thank you so much, Mr. Paul, for sharing your insight and your experience with Accenture. It's really helpful and it is informative. I feel this crowd can understand how Accenture works, what all technologies we use, and what all business we manage. So thank you so much again. And hello everyone, hello VITians. How are you all? Hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining this session. I understand you all are exhausted. I can see from your face. You must have started your day early morning. You have a lot of classes. So I can understand. I will take hardly 10 minutes to complete my session. So thank you for your patience. So I would like to introduce myself. My name is Ipsa Karan. I am part of campus recruitment team where I manage AH span. And it's been 3 years I'm with Accenture, and the experience and the work-life balance, whatever I've experienced in Accenture is really great. I can say it is the best place where you can have your work-life balance. So let's start with the next slide. So already Paul sir has given all the insight about Accenture. So what we are looking from your end, what Accenture expect you to do it. So you should be a great learner. You should have knowledge regarding new technologies, and you have that keen to learn things, and you should live by our core values. Next, we stay invested in our people. That means we have one design program which is specially for you all, for the freshers like you. So it's a 2 years program where you can enroll yourself and you can enhance your skill, you can learn new technologies, and which will help you to grow in corporate life. So you can utilize your knowledge into that. So in that We have invested in 24,000 online courses, 91 connected classroom, and 2,700 learning boards. This is a small video. This shows what Accenture is. So you have an example with us, our MD, who has around more than a decade experience, and his work-life balance is really great. This is an example that Accenture is the right place where you can start your career. So now here you go with your eligibility criteria for this requirement. So this is for the full-time role, and we are open to all BTech BE graduates, and we are also open for integrated dual degree like BE BTech or BE MTech and BTech plus MSc. So we are open for everyone. And the most important thing, there is no cutoff mark. So this year, there is no aggregate mark we are looking for. Anyone can apply, but yes, there should not be any active backlog when you're applying with Accenture while onboarding and while applying for that. So this is same with intern as well. The only difference is that BE BTech can apply. There is no dual degree. They cannot apply. Yes, 2026 pass out, the pre-final year students can apply for it. All are same, no aggregate, and anyone can apply with no active backlogs. And this is your job role. The role which you will, the designation you will get it is Advanced Application Engineering Analyst. Your job role is design and develop cutting-edge innovative application and product prototypes, creating new IPs. It means that you should have good knowledge regarding the new technologies. You should have good knowledge regarding coding, cognitive, technical. Hence, we conduct this kind of assessment because you have to go through these all assessments, cognitive, technical, coding. We conduct this assessment to understand your knowledge so that we can pick up the right talent for this particular role. Because you have to manage many clients because they have their own demands and expectations. You have to meet their expectations. So here is the way where you can utilize your experience, whatever you have studied during. Moving to the next slide. This is a very self-explanatory slide. It's an ethics slide of Accenture. So Accenture has not authorized any agency, company, or individual to either collect money or arrive on any monetary arrangement in exchange for a job at Accenture. Accenture's criterion for hiring candidate is merit. Any agency, company, or individual offering employment with Accenture in exchange for money is misrepresenting their relationship with Accenture, which has not authorized any such action. If you are approached by any entity or individual who demand money or any other form of compensation in return for a job offer at Accenture, even if they present themselves as representative or employee of Accenture, please send the details to the below mentioned ID. Okay, thank you all. I'm done with my presentation. Thank you for your patience. I would like to thank Mr. Ganesh and Samuel sir for supporting us, for the continuous support since ages. And thank you for arranging this session. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Yes, if you have any questions, you can obviously ask, but we can answer few questions. Other questions, you can route it to your placement team. We will pick that up. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Shall we give a big round of applause? So, students, feel free to post questions. So the mic is yours. We'll start with. Even questions from Bhopal, AP, and Chennai campus is welcome. So please feel free to post questions. Now we can start with.
Hello, Ma'am, my question is regarding the registration of Accenture. So the problem is that a lot of us have been facing errors on the Accenture website for registration. What's happening is after registration, we are getting an error code of 1014 and it states that your application is for pending for review. And due to this, we haven't received any test credentials or like confirmation about the assessment.
Sure, we are working for it. You might be knowing that eligibility criteria also says that you should have a legitimate PAN card. If you are not uploading a right PAN card, in the sense the PAN card should have your name, your father's name, and your signature. That is mandate. Unless if you are uploading any minor PAN card, it will not work. Maybe your registration will be on hold. So obviously we will check on your profile. You can share your details with the placement team. We will look into it for sure.
Ma'am, my PAN card details are correct and it has been 4 days.
If that can be a case, there are multiple reasons, but yes, of course, you can share your details with Ganesh sir or Samuel sir. I will look into it.
Thank you, ma'am.
We have requested the Accenture team to give us the short list, I mean the eligible students at the earliest. We will share it across at the earliest. In the same way, students who get message saying that you are not eligible, we are trying to figure out the reason. You just raise your hands, feel free to post questions.
We have few goodies for you. Please, we will appreciate if you questions. We have our Mr. Paul. You can ask any questions related technology or what else skills you need to develop, you can ask.
So you are putting me into a spot, is it? Okay.
Good afternoon, sir. So basically, I wanted to ask, as a fresh joinee, what all tech stack will we be expected to work in? And secondly, about the assessment, will the timestamp matter, like when we are exactly submitting, like the time taken to submit the test? These are the two.
You're asking about assessment part?
Yeah.
I would like to take this up. So you might be knowing that we have multiple assessment and it is scheduled on 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. So, and before that, we will share you one mock assessment link. Request you all to please give the mock assessment link from your system so that it will check your specification of your laptop. We will also share the admit card and with you where you can check the thing. And assessment part, what I want to highlight that there will be a 1.5 hour of assessment, cognitive and technical. If you clear that assessment, then you have to go through your coding assessment. That is of 45 minutes. So this is the all assessment structure. If you clear your coding, you have to go through communication assessment, and by that you will have your interview round. That is your final round of interview. Any queries? Hope I answer your question.
So coming back to the first point of your question, right? You were looking at what are the skills that you would be learning in. Don't worry about it. Accenture has a training program. That training program will help you to kind of elevate your skills, right? So that would be for roughly about 3 to 6 months, where you will be put on some rigor training, and every training will also have an assessment. And this assessment would also help us to understand where exactly you need to be get positioned, right? So we talked about ecosystem plays, and if you are so good in SAP, then it's an option that we can put you into the SAP. So don't worry about, we are not looking at you guys to come with a complete experience with tech before coming in, right? Hope that I answered. Okay.
As Epsa madam was telling, just I want to reiterate, the assessment will happen at our own placement center. I mean, the assessment, Pearl Research 717 on 11th and 12th. We will schedule accordingly. So students are requested to come to Pearl Research Park and take up the assessment. As madam was telling, whoever clears the first round of test will be called for the coding test immediately. We have scheduled in batches. Once we get the shortlisted students, the eligible students, will be packed up into batches, and tests will happen at 11th and 12th at Pearl Research Park. Over to madam, please.
One more thing I want to add, please bring your admit card and PAN card on your assessment day. And make sure the system is working properly. And you should use only campus network or the internet connection. You are not allowed to use your phone or hotspot.
And we'll assure you, madam, that students will be taking this test at our
Sure, sir.
center. The system specification, whatever you have given, that will be on with our lab. That will take it up. And students, as madam was telling, please try to carry your PAN card, original, and your updated CV.
Admit card.
Admit card. I mean, the admit card, hard copy of your admit card, hard copy printouts. So, any questions? Your admit cards will be generated at the earliest. Whoever gets eligible, your admit cards will be tracked. No?
When we'll share the mock assessment link, at that moment, we will share the admit card as well. You can see, you can check in your email ID, where you can take the printout and bring that admit card and PAN card on your assessment day. Any other queries, guys?
Hello, ma'am. So I have an e-PAN card. Should I print it and bring, or do we need the hard?
You can, either of it will work.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Hello, ma'am. I have a doubt about what will be the joining date for this.
So let me put back the question back to you, right? When is that your course gets ended in 25? May, right? May, are you sure that you will complete your exams by May? Okay. From that date onwards, I think even before that, we would send you the LOI, the intent of, the letter of intent that's an acceptance, right? So onboarding will happen sometime June, July, and August. So you will complete your courses by May, and then the onboarding gets started. Yeah. Any further questions?
Madam, I have a question from Chennai campus. Before Vellore campus, I have a question from Chennai campus. There is an option for 2-year MTech and MSc students to apply in the Accenture link, or students are eligible. 2-year programs of MTech and 2-year MSc programs. In Accenture link, it says it eligible. Are the students eligible to go ahead?
It should be BTech plus MSc or BTech plus MTech. They can
They
apply.
say it's an integrated courses are
Integrated
eligible.
course,
In
not-
2-year courses are not eligible.
Yes.
Yeah.
So query from Chennai campus is answered. Query from Vellore campus.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, you're here. Okay, perfect.
Please do introduce yourself. From which department are you? So that will be.
Saichi Kumari, and I am from Electronics and Instrumentation Engineering. So my question is, you mentioned about the training program of 3 or 6 months. So it won't be intended for any particular position. You said that we will have assessments and on the basis of assessments, we will get assigned to our positions.
No, the position stands still. There is no position change, but it is about to understand what's your area of interest, right? If you are so good in Java, right, why should I be putting back into on a platform, right, which is of not interest to you, right? So that is the purpose of having this assessment, to kind of gauge you and put you into the right path. That's all about. There is no change in the position as such.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, there is a question on that side. Shanmugam sir, there is a question on that side. Just raise your hands, please.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Bhavya and I'm pursuing computer science engineering with blockchain technology. I have a query that you are currently hiring for an analyst role for your technology business. So if you have interest in consultancy and strategies, so can we change our job profile in future and staying in Accenture only? Will Accenture provide all these things,
Okay.
or we have to do MBA and then come to that business?
Yes, there is a possibility, but not very immediate. So you need to serve when you hire you, right? You need to serve that particular organization for minimum 2 years, which is 24 months. And then you can apply through an internal IJP portal, which we have, by which you can apply for the other entities as well. Yes, that is an option.
Hello, I'm Aditya Sharma from Electronics and Communication Engineering. Sir, I have two questions. The first one, sir, Accenture is, how many students Accenture is expecting to take from VIT?
Let me put you back the same question. How many can clear Accenture cognitive assessment? If you clear through, then yes. See, let me also put you back. So the filtering criteria is with cognitive assessment. Hope you know that we don't have a negative scoring, right? So if you're going to score well, and it's not that, you need to score in one particular section all through. We will look for every section to have an equal weightage, right? And that's the only filtering process. And apart from that, and while you move into your interviews, and as I said, it is not a filtering process, so you are being. So if you can clear through your cognitive assessment, that's good. Put your efforts, do well on your trainings, right? And see your mark assessments and score well. So there is no limit. If all the 6,000 are going to be in, you are most welcome to it.
Sir, one more question. Sir, one more question.
Yeah.
As in your presentation, there was a slide for 360-degree values which you offer to your clients. My question is that what if 2 to 3 points which are like colliding, like if you are providing them sustainability which is affecting their finance, so what your approach on that?
See, everything will have an impact on your financials at the end, right? If I'm not helping my client to score well with sustainability, right? Example is every supplier needs to have a supplier scorecard, right? Which has about 17 ESG scores, which every organization has to meet. If they are not meeting, we would also guide them and help them to kind of secure there as well. So it is just not like, we just take a client, look out where he stands, and we just never leave it. We help them out to improve their scores, by which there is an impact on your financials as well. Yeah? Perfect.
Due to time constraint, we'll go with one question from Velu campus.
Sorry?
Yes, how the producers.
Yes. T-shirts, we can give it. The one who question.
Do introduce yourself, from which department are you, and then proceed.
Hello, sir. I'm Krishna from Computer Science Department with specialization in blockchain. I wanted to ask, how many years of bond do you sign with the selected?
I think we never.
Don't have any bond. We don't have.
They don't have it.
But no doubt, are you going to onboard the selected students in batches, or are we going to be onboarded to all together?
No, it will be in batches.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm just going to ask, who are all the people who have asked questions? Can you just be
Before
stand-
that, there is a single question from VIT Bhopal.
Uh-huh.
I'll take a question. What is the scope of life sciences courses? In VIT, we do have life sciences courses, biotechnology, microbiology. So what is the scope of those guys in Accenture?
Okay, so definitely I talked about 40 industries. So life sciences is one of the industry, and definitely there are lot scope for the biomedical kind of scenarios. Yes, they can be part of it. So there is a scope for every industry to build.
Thank you, sir. We'll connect with Epsa, madam, for the program life sciences separately.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Any questions? Any questions?
Super. So can I request the people who have asked questions in this campus, can you please stand up?
Students can come forward, we'll take photos. Please come forward. Come fast, come fast. Come to the. Come to the stage.
Hmm? Oh, you want to take a. There is a small goodie for you. See you soon in Accenture. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See you soon in Accenture. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ma'am, we'll have a group photo, let them hold it in hands. No, just stand and we'll have a group photo. We'll have a group photo. Have it.
Thank you. See you soon in Accenture. Thank you. See you down.
Stand, we'll have a group photo. Okay.
Thank you. See you soon in Accenture.
No problem. Right, come forward, you take a photo.
You asked all the questions of, and see you soon in Accenture, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. See you soon in Accenture.
Good afternoon, students. I have a special recognition by a student who is teacher on a Teacher's Day. Sundar Singh sir has his teacher here. Joshua sir over here, please.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
I will discuss and I wait there. I'll discuss. So glad to see my professor here in the campus, he just pinged me this morning and he said like, Paul, I'm going to be meeting you. I said like, where? Right? And then I realized that he's been with VID. Thank you so much, Joshua sir. So nice to see you after 35 years of time. Thank you.
Students, a big round of applause. A small token of love and affection from VIT. Over to Mohan sir, please. EPSA madam, please receive it. Thank you so much. A big round of applause. So we'll have a group photo here. Students come forward. We'll have a group photo. Then we have a selfie. Please come forward. Team VIT, please come forward. We'll have a group photo. Yeah, we'll come in. Thank you, guys. You can just go and sit. Anu sir, you can just come. We'll take a photo. We'll take a group photo. You can just be seated. Yeah. Yeah, I'm coming, sir. We'll take a group photo. Thank you, students. Kindly give your attendance. You are just projecting the code. You can give the attendance. So we'll give on duty till 5 o'clock. Any classes beyond 5 o'clock, please go and attend. We are going to give on duty till 5 o'clock.